pardon comes days after a judge denied Fiore a new trial. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
And I'm Brian Loftus. Now, Fiore was set to be sentenced after this federal conviction, but now that will not happen. This is a story our 8 News Now investigators broke and have been updating you with all day with our digital platforms. Our own Vanessa Murphy live in front of the federal courthouse after confirming the news with Fiore herself. Vanessa.
Well, this is the executive grant of clemency signed by President Donald Trump, letting Michele Fiore off the hook. She was supposed to return to the federal courthouse here in a few weeks to learn her sentence. Not anymore.
But where's the money?
So you tell me.
This was last year, before a jury convicted Michele Fiore for stealing money from memorials for slain Las Vegas Metro police officers. On Wednesday, more than 6 months after the guilty verdict, in this lengthy statement to the 8 News Now investigators, Fiore says she's a, quote, free woman, a vindicated soul whose prayers were heard and truth could not be buried by injustice. President Donald Trump pardoning Fiore Wednesday. She says she is grateful to the president, calls it an act of mercy, and also refers to, for nearly a decade, a federal machine determined to break her. Fiore could have faced significant prison time. The 8 News Now investigators in the courtroom for the federal trial, no cameras allowed, but prosecutors from the Department of Justice demonstrated how Fiore raised money in the memory of officers Alan Beck and Igor Soldo, but spent the money on herself for expenses like rent, cosmetic procedures, and her daughter's wedding. Republican Governor Joe Lombardo testified against Fiore. The jury returning the guilty verdict in less than 2 hours here in October.
Do you want to comment on any emotions? Not the case, but just emotions right now.
I would love to, but so I'm going to take my attorney's advice and just not.
Fiore, no stranger to controversy during her political career. Once a state lawmaker, then a city councilwoman and mayor pro tem, most recently a judge in Pahrump. Suspended from the bench due to her federal charges. Now she says she'll return to the bench after claims of injustice from the start. What do you want to say to the widows? What do you want to say to the widows?
Why don't you ask the prosecutors?
I asked Fiore for an interview. She said she'll think about it. When I initially reached out via text message, she replied saying, quote, Vanessa, you need to get on your knees a little more, girl, end quote. By the way, Sigal Chattah was in the courtroom during Fiore's trial with her supporters. She was the Republican National Committee woman. Now she's the interim U.S. attorney. I asked for a comment. She declined. Reporting in downtown Las Vegas, Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
Vanessa, thank you. Commissioners in Nye County first appointed Fiore to her judgeship, and then voters elected her to the position that was last summer. Coming up at 4:30, our team coverage does continue with Kyle Payne about whether Fiore can return now to the